Welcome back to Championship Sunday.
Hello and welcome.
Reba hits a deadly low reverse, defended by Wu, who's going to swing with her right hand.
Wow.
A soft touch from Plett. That's a double. Oh my gosh, that may be the best rally we've seen.
This is just sportsmanship.
Can't look at him, I'm going to cry.
You know, sensei to student relationship.
Nice up from Rahul, and Nickel sets him, and it's a good pull. Everton with a set. We've an area lefty on two!
We are back, and we are just about to head directly into Game 2 here. And exciting Game 1. We saw a lot of rallies. But we didn't see a comeback happen from Graham and Rogers. They were really looking to make one, and I guess Game 2, they're looking to just start out and just keep it going.
Yeah, their first game they dropped of the day, but we got to throw you right into the action because Alli Rogers is set to serve to Olivia. And maybe a reverse cut serve attempt there. The ball jumped quite a bit to the side, but you also have to hit the ball on the net in order for the serve to count.
Yes, important.
So, yeah, not just about getting the reverse cut spin, which is something I've convinced
that's
myself.
90% of the battle.
Yeah.
But then the extra 10% is actually hitting the right part of the net.
Absolutely.
Right?
And a really long pause between what I think was a actually played first serve and the second one.
Well, this one is going to be received well, and a bit of a hitting error actually coming out from Olivia Jenki. We saw a lot of hitting errors, a surprising amount of hitting errors or just errors in general.
Yeah.
Maybe not specifically hitting errors in that last game from Rogers and Graham, and you just cannot afford to make those type of errors against a team as confident and capable as the Twins.
Absolutely. It really boils down to, in the win right now, it seems like some of these first and second touches aren't as crisp as the hitters and setters would like them to be, and so it's all just culminating in a rimmed hit or an opportunity for an easy dig where Twins had a couple of even drops right on the net that were scooped up by Graham Rogers early Game 1.
Well, a great serve there from Alli. Here's the backhand again from Alli Rogers, who puts that one away cleanly to get the point.
Yeah, you see her, she's showing backhand pretty much the entire way as she gets up to that, reaching across her body and loading. So it's interesting to see that early Game 1, actually she was dug pretty cleanly, and now throughout later Game 1 and into Game 2, a great
here's
touch.
a defensive touch, though, but Graham with another error. No, she had the body up, and the set from Alli Rogers was maybe not perfect, but on the mark, at least enough for the lefty, but Graham just missing that one, tries for the drop, but shorts it.
Yeah, Game 1, we saw 2 no-hits on infractions for lefty hits by Graham. Another now set to her left hand. So for Rogers, definitely a bit of pressure to get the ball into Graham's wheelhouse for a good hit put away. Graham, one of them was for a break opportunity, so not the biggest deal, but now that break really hurts as they give up the early lead to Twins.
Oh, great serve, but well received. Now can she put it up and over? Yes, she can. Alli is not 20 feet tall, unfortunately, so that one is going to be up and over her head. Nothing she can do.
Yeah, some of the taller players in the division, though, the Jenki twins, pretty capable at covering ground, and also themselves like to hit the ball high and far the way Rogers just did, too. So a little bit of a taste of their own medicine there. Rogers just trying to balance. And it's a pretty wide split stance. You're trying to get that wide stance so you can step out really far.
Oh, they're playing this one. Olivia with a cheeky drop, and Alli Rogers can't play it. I was surprised they played it. I think they were surprised they played it, and Graham and Rogers certainly were shocked.
Yeah, it's that same thing we talked about at the end of the semifinals, where that mental focus of whether the team's going to play it, and if you even have to rotate on defense, those micro decisions just stack up into points and then games. And ultimately, I don't have these, but I think they're called trophies.
Ah, yes.
Yep. So Twins.
I've heard about those.
Yeah, I hope to see one someday. But a double fault there for Jenki, gives the ball back to Graham, who otherwise relatively quiet compared to her counterpart on the serving line.
Well, here's a set from Olivia, and Alli will go for the up and over again. We've seen a lot of low hitting so far today, but in this game at least, already seeing a lot more of just those hard righty swings to get that ball as far and high as possible away from the defender.
Yeah, instead of trying to hit those gaps, which might be a lower percentage hit to make, it's a much higher skill to master and hit the gap. Hitting the ball high and far and just daring the team to return it, especially with the gusts that we have right now, is a pretty tall task. Pun not intended.
I mean, tough to track down those balls as they're coming out of the sky. You got to then calibrate where it's going to be and then get a good touch to your partner. Not easy to do, but a good touch there from Graham. A good set, that is, and Rogers will have no trouble putting that one away.
Yeah, great control there. Doesn't look like it's windy over on that part of the field. I sure would love to be over there.
Yes, it is It's quite windy over here. Our tent shaking. I know my legs are shaking. I'm freezing over here. But we're having fun, and hopefully these players are doing it as well. I know Alli. I know Alli Rogers, Becca Graham. They clearly had fun in that semi, but in this final, it is looking a little bit more intimidating.
Yeah, fun is highly correlated with amount of points won in a match. I've come to find, and that one not going the way for Rogers. Maybe just some confusion about the defensive rotation. Not sure if there was something called out there, but might have been a little breakdown. Rogers just recollecting. And yeah, Becca Graham trying to signal some things to her teammate Alli Rogers about how maybe they go about the next few points rotating on defense as Rogers regathers.
Something we noticed last game right off the bat was how efficient the Twins' defensive rotations have been. They're on the ball so often, and like you said, at this level, it is so hard to just be in the right place at the right time, and you just got to play the percentages. You got to get yourself somewhere where you can make a play. I mean, we just saw them try to do it again at some point. Just play the percentage of put the ball on the net, see if the receiving team makes a mistake, and they did.
Yep. Yeah, a pretty rare poor first touch from Becca Graham there. Not the most challenging serve, just a little bit low and goes up high.
Wow. Speaking of low.
Yeah, and I was asking for a more challenging serve too, just daring Alli Jenki to one-up herself. Easy thing for her to do as she hits some of the lower serves in the division and has that
so
left.
Good. The lefty cut almost out of reach. She's going to have no trouble with that defensive touch and cleanly puts that away. The serve opening the door for them and taking advantage fully of a poor offensive hit.
Yeah, and like they did early in game one, Graham and Rogers want that timeout because they've gone down on that couple-point break. Again, you never hope for this to happen, but if it does, that's exactly what the timeout's for. Break the momentum, regather, talk some things over because right now their offensive setting hasn't been clean enough to get their easy putaways they need. They haven't really had the backhand hits they had early game one, and even at the beginning of this game, it's been a lot of jams and even offset and lefty hitting that's been getting them in trouble.
Well, it is about figuring out what they can do better as when they come back from this timeout, right? We haven't seen, it's not like this is a massive run from the Twins yet. I mean, Alli did just hit a bunch of nasty serves in a row, so there is that. But, it's not like we're seeing errors on the side of, Rogers and Graham like we were in that last game. I feel like they took that timeout more a bit motivated on their own offensive errors rather than anything that really is out of their control, just how nasty Alli is hitting her serves. But right now, I mean, like you said, icing, now literally, given this environment, trying to ice the Twins a little bit here.
Right. And meanwhile, on the other side, Twins looking very comfortable during their timeout.
Oh, yeah.
Just grabbing a quick sip to hydrate and otherwise staying calm, cool, and collected. They first team to take a game off of Graham Rogers today, so they're feeling really comfortable up for coming out of the timeout. And they're hoping to close this game out in 2-2. Just win the championship, call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it would be nice to be able to go somewhere, sit inside, get yourself a hot chocolate or a hot apple cider or just a coffee, something warm.
Yeah, I wonder if Game 3 has any of those, because if so, I could see myself rooting for Game 3 if there were hot chocolates involved.
If they were just a hot chocolate fairy that came down and just brought us hot chocolates, I mean, we could sit here forever and just commentate this game for hours. But I think the Jenki Twins have something else in mind. They're up 4, and they're trying to extend that lead.
They don't love the drama. They like the dominance. Different D word for the Twins. A really dominant season last year, and trying to just announce in this finals matchup how strong they still are relative to the really talented division of women's players.
Well, that time we saw the backhand from Rogers that has been so good so far. That time lipping up, getting high and very defendable. So Olivia getting that touch, Alli with the set, and a very clean drop from Olivia to finish off the point. But it looks like we saw some sort of possible no-hit zone violation called because right now, I mean, ball's in the hands of Graham.
Yep.
That's a good serve. Alli with the set, and Olivia with the lefty, but now an error coming out from the Twins. Maybe a couple of chinks in that armor starting to appear.
Yeah, and Olivia was trying to make that really low percentage hit, trying to really pull the ball and get it by the defense instead of just going for more of a push or open shot across her body. Would have been much easier to make. Definitely goes on the net. And then you run the risk of playing those numbers, seeing can Graham actually get that defensive touch and make it back to net cleanly.
Oh,
but really good control
Graham
there
hits
from
a
Alli.
good serve. Yeah, I mean, to take that serve and then get that recovery set, which was a little off the mark. Alli with, like you said, really nice control to put that one on, but keep it out of the defensive reach of both players. Olivia swinging away, but just hitting off the wrong part of her hand. She'll go again, and that one is so good. Low cut with the righty, but possible call. Maybe a foot fault called from the observer. That one, oh my goodness. I kind of wanted that one to be good. It was clean looking. Yeah,
looking at that no-touch ace, but just a slight toe drag might have been called there on Olivia Jenki's left foot as she reached out.
Wow. Another great serve. Not a great hit, though, from Olivia, but so easily received. But another not-so-great hit, but that one may have clipped the net twice. We'll have to wait for the call because that one, a bit of a messy rally, but a rally nonetheless.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out who's calling what on what. And it looked like Alli gets the ball back to net, I believe, cleanly, but then the Twins are not able to clean up the hit here. It's a nice drop, and the ball just hits rim.
Looks like it hit that net and then maybe hit that rim as that like second bounce on the net. We'll take a look at this replay again. Another angle. We got 3 angles we're bringing you today. That one
might have been a
looked
roll
the
up
most
there.
revealing.
Yeah.
Maybe a roll up. That's what the discussion is.
It was a really
here.
close call from our perspective, but for them over on the field, much clearer to tell if it was rim. Looks like they signaled that it was no good. So ball stays with Alli Rogers.
Oh, goes for the drop, staying patient. Olivia making a little mistake there, and Alli feeling the pain. The Twins a little bit uncomfortable, it seems, after a couple of, I think, 3 errors back-to-back. Graham and Rogers bridging this gap substantially. I believe it is at 9-10 now.
Yeah, a huge 4-1 run coming out of their timeout. Exactly what you hope to see. And Rogers still just, messing around with that bag of serves.
That bag of serves just pulled out a lefty cut. It missed the net, of course, just clipping that rim. The second one, she goes for the righty cut, but that one up and over, called high. If you're Graham and Rogers right now, and you're looking at this 1-point deficit, what is that one thing you're telling yourself to be that next step, Ben, to say, here's how we can take them down. Here's how we can take game 2, send it to game 3.
It's nothing flashy, right? It's exactly what Rogers did there. It's just playing that clean offense to stay in the game. If you're serving and you're down 1 when you're serving, you know that you can't give the other team any more gaps to break open the game, get that lead any higher than it already is. And from there, just play your hard defense you've been playing. Graham and Rogers have some great serves that can challenge Twins. Let that go to work, but just focus on holding. Hold the ball, play your clean offense, and you're going to get the opportunities to get back in it.
I mean, it's still anyone's game right now. Still that 1-point gap, unless Olivia has something to say about that. Just puts that one on, giving Graham the chance to get something going, but well received. And Olivia with a drop, but again, well received. The lefty from Graham.
Yeah, some big lefty redemption from Graham. Had been struggling with that throughout the series and gets it in a really clutch situation to get the hold. The offensive team, of course, expected him at that point. I don't mind when they do it in a very flashy way. Yeah. Sure, they don't love sweating it too much, but for Twins, they love getting that pressure to make that one play. Not sure what's okay. Maybe they were just appreciating how great that rally was.
Maybe
just giving you at home some time to practice some gratitude as well.
But after the brief discussion, I mean, we are all tied up. Olivia gifting this one to Alli, who lips that one up and makes this one very defendable. But oh no, there's another hitting error coming out from Becca Graham. A little bit late on that hit and a little bit out of position.
Yeah. We talk a lot about how the players are moving to the left to try to open up their hips and get a push out there. In that situation, Graham could do well to move actually to the right or counterclockwise and see the ball coming in from Rogers, who sees the ball go by herself.
That's a serve and a half from Alli Jenki right there. Another no-touch ace coming out.
And just a brutal angle here. See Jenki pull the ball wide.
Oh, the drop. Gets it on just barely, but giving Alli the chance to set this one. Olivia chips it away, but a no-hit zone violation is called.
Gosh.
I believe that is again on Becca Graham.
After pulling the game in within just 1 to 2 points, all of a sudden now it's a multi-point lead.
And remember, they took that timeout early. They no longer have that extra cushion They no longer have that protection of the 60-second break to talk something over, to slow down the momentum. It is all Alli right now. With the ball again, looking to go on a run. Second serve is no good. So double fault, no momentum really established yet. But still, a lead is there.
And just thinking about the Alli serving to Alli matchup reminds me, the two of them actually played together at a tournament a long time ago. It made it a lot easier to figure out who you were rooting for if you were rooting for the Allis, as opposed to having to root for and against one Alli at a time. A lot of these players have mashed up with different teammates through the years, and really cool to see at the highest level how much the team chemistry for TWINZ especially, and Graham Rogers, one of the longest running teams to play round net in any division, can have, especially defensively, but all around the net.
Well, a rim serve is going to be played there by Becca Graham, who ends up getting that third hit put away into the body of Olivia, who cannot get that ball up. So that ball will now go back into the hands of Alli Rogers. A 3-point gap still. A left hand from Alli Rogers looking to change that, but it will not be enough. Called high and side pocket.
What a great rip. Might have been just high, and it's low enough. It's called clean there. Wow. Might be some discussion on if it was high or not, actually.
Yeah, the observer's going to get
really
together,
close call.
have a quick conversation. It is actually called high.
All right. So the ball was completely above Alli Jenki's shoulder there at that point of contact, and that'll be a double fault. Okay, so it's, instead of it being a 14-16 situation, it's going to look like a 17-13. That's a really big swing. I mean, a 2-point swing at any juncture feels big, but as you're rotating too, it might hurt that much more.
Oh, and it's extra terrifying because now the ball is back in the hands of Alli Jenki,
yeah,
which is just the player who has been the most consistent and the most lethal of a weapon on the serve. That toss, though, it looked like it was a little bit off the mark. Possibly the wind bringing that ball back into her body a little bit. You could see that she was just not happy with that, and it ended up just being well off the mark. Yeah, it's a really particular kind of delivery that Alli Jenki has. It allows her to get those drop serves snuck in a little more quickly when she has that ball rolling back off her fingertips on a toss. Good recovery set there from Alli. The ball goes up, though, and well received. Backhand from Graham is good enough. Defense not there.
Yeah, backhand is just the free hit of the day. If you set up the backhand and you can hit it cleanly off the net without rolling it up too much, easy put away for pretty much all the players here.
Lefty coming out from Becca Graham, and it is very good. Good enough to force Olivia to just fall down in an attempt to get that recovery set. Possible discussion about that call, though, and I believe there will be an observer meetup here.
Tricky one where Olivia Jenki is trying to make that set and might be getting hindered, not on purpose, but just narrowly by Becca Graham, who's hit that lefty serve and actually is stepping closer to Olivia when doing it. After serving, she's got to then establish her balance outside the serving circle, and that makes it even harder for her to avoid the hinder.
Right, because her effort is just to go. Also, I mean, in terms of defensive positioning, it's not a bad place to be, covering the other side of your teammate.
Running away from where your teammate's covering is always a good way to cover ground.
So it looks like that discussion concluding. Graham again to serve. Steps out right. Puts one on nicely. Good set from Olivia and a fantastic push from Alli.
Yeah, the lefty push not used too often, but Alli pulling out all the stops to close out this game, and if she can, the match and tournament.
A big swing from Olivia. Looked good initially, but a brief discussion, possibly called side.
Alli Rogers might have signaled rim, trying to just track if she held her hand up to her arm. That one definitely high. I can see that from here. And got to have these here. 3 last opportunities to serve for breaks for Graham Rogers.
Do or die. 2
of those opportunities falling on Alli Rogers here.
Second serve, very good, but a great receive and an even better set from Alli, freeing up Olivia to do about whatever she wanted with that ball. Had the righty push, had the righty pull, goes for the righty drop, push instead.
Such good placement with the set. She's getting it really high, so it actually gives Graham Rogers time to rotate around, but in making it high and also really well centered, it means that Olivia Jenki has time to read where the defense goes and then just break it the other way.
Well, at 19, it is almost game time, almost match point.
Might have been an active call there, as you see Alli appealing to Grant Laughlin, one of the observers behind her.
Oh, a good swing, but an even better receive. The set is good. Olivia gets a touch with the ball heading the wrong direction. So
Fingertips.
Again, Graham and Rogers staying alive, down by 2, really needing a break here. A good serve, looking to get an opportunity. Alli hits this one up and over, gets there. No, Alli Rogers had a chance, but could not finish it.
Yeah, that high ball going really towards Becca Graham, but just too high for her, and Rogers backing her up just barely, but can't get under the ball really well. Just floundering for it and trying to get any contact to keep the ball alive.
That puts us on finals point. Olivia to serve, puts one up, not played.
It might have been a side pocket or something high. Rogers set for it, though.
Here it goes. Good serve from Olivia. Well received. Even better set. Olivia cannot get there in time with the body defense, so Graham and Rogers, they've got another chance. Yeah,
the last chance here falling to Alli Rogers. Needs to, but can only get them one at a time. So, where does she go first with this bag of serves?
I would love to see that lefty from her. It has been pretty good so far. She'll go with it, and Olivia will receive it. She'll put one up. Very gettable. Becca Graham with a hand on. Alli Rogers botches the set just in. Oh, my goodness. Nearly had that one. Becca Graham was in position, but that will do it for our women's final.
Such a high level of difficulty to run that ball down. The wind not quite as fast as it has been and gusty before, but game point, match point there. All of it on the line. Really tough play for Graham Rogers to make, and they dropped their only 2 games to a very worthy opponent in TWINZ. And congratulations to them taking first place here at the Spikeball Tour Series Challenger in Richmond.
Yeah, the first streamed finals game, and they are victorious, and they look good while doing it. I gotta say, even though the gap wasn't as substantial in that second game as it was in the first, they did look like they had the advantage pretty much for the entire time. They looked pretty confident. Alli's serving was just something, well, Alli Jenki, that is, was just something incredible. And Alli Rogers, even though she had a couple of moments, she just could not get enough serving consistency to put them over the edge. I did like how she set that last point up, though, right? We saw that lefty, and we saw the very defendable opportunity there,
right.
But it just could not happen.
Yeah, a lot of really good pressure from both teams defensively, forcing some mistakes or even just forcing players to make really difficult hits and errors. But overall, just TWINZ with some really strong offensive consistency. We saw it really well late game epitomized by that really high set that Olivia had time to just drop right in front of, well, I'd say the defense, but it was in front of nobody. Just having really good control of the ball on their receives and their sets, setting up some really good hits and putaways to just keep the defense at bay and not really give up any breaks they didn't need to.
Well, with our women's portion of the day, the women's bracket concluded. We're going to move on to the men's, well, rather Premier.
The Premier Division,
the
right.
Premier Division, Premier Pro, and we have got some spicy matchups. We talked about the upset. We'll talk a lot more about that, and the matchup that we've got, the semifinals and the finals to follow, all of that after a quick break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.